Was for me Saturday. Friday not so much, but Saturday Hadi came in and was straight second place. He beat Brandon and Phil on Saturday. But the problem was for Hadi that he was fourth on Friday because he wasn't as good on Friday. And listen, I gotta give kudos to Hadi. What this man achieved by having all that stress with the visa issues, not knowing if you can do it. Literally a few days before the Olympia, he didn't know he was going to do it. First, his visa was denied. Then they somehow tried to do it again, and then they got the visa. Then he had to arrange flights to get to the U.S. So he was under stress.
Hadi had no clue up until a couple of days before the show that he was coming in. He did get here a couple of days before. We had to lose almost 15 pounds of water. If he just was able to get here just a day sooner, he would have looked even better.
Anybody else would have already pulled out, would have already started eating. He kept believing, he kept the faith, and he just hung in there. And he came to the U.S. literally 2-3 days before the Olympia. Think about that. We are already in the States. We'll go to Orlando 6-7 days out. And he pulled it off. That tells you how good Hadi really is. That dude is the most dangerous bodybuilder next to Ramy, I think, at this time, because what he brought to the stage on Saturday was straight silver medal, second place. He was second place on all judges' score sheets. Now, keep in mind, why did he end up still in fourth? Because he was so far behind on Friday that the second place points on Saturday weren't enough to put him ahead of Phil and Brandon. So he was 1 point away from Phil.
You never faced Hadi, Chupon.
It's hot. I mean, no disrespect to Hadi, but I'm Phil Heath.
I know.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
So, yes, that tells you how dangerous Hadi really is. And Hadi undeniably has a chance of being a future Mr. Olympia. And this is exactly the way I see it. All this with all the stress he had coming into the country, I mean, who would look like, I mean, I would never be even close, you know? That's why he was still a little, on Friday, he was still a little watery, but Saturday he came back, he just nailed it. Yeah. And he saw his confidence. This dude is ready to fight anybody. He stood next to Ramy and he held his own. Hadi got better while prejudging was going on. When he came out, and listen, and this is not a knock on Hadi, he had a long flight 3 days or 2 days before. Right. So of course you're going to hold water. And all the stress he had, not knowing, is he going to make it? Am I going to go? You know, I don't know. Kudos to him for keeping it together to the last minute and still make it to the U.S., where others would be full of water, others would have gave up on the diet, would have started eating. He hung in there. So he came out Friday night. He wasn't sharp. He wasn't as hard because he was still holding water. But as more as they called him, as more as he posed, he got better and better. So he was basically probably out of the top four and before the last call out on Friday. And then last call out, he moved into the fourth spot. Okay? So I knew Friday night that Hadi was going to come back Saturday and he had another 24 hours for him to get rid of more water. And it's exactly what he did. Hadi was probably the best conditioned guy on Saturday. And on Saturday, he was clear second place. Right. It's going to be very hard to beat Ramy for Hadi if Ramy is on because of the size difference. It's just, he's just a bigger man. It's always the bigger man always wins. Of course. But if Hadi comes on and Ramy is just a little bit off, Hadi will beat him.